Okay, yeah, good evening, everybody. Just a bit of housekeeping. Nate makes his 100th appearance, so for a homegrown to come through the club and to become such an important player for us, congratulate him from all of us here. Makanya with his first goal, and Dre, keeping us in the game there when we went through moments of fatigue and, some challenging times. We said before the game that this is a really good team. The league position does not reflect where they currently are, and I think we saw that tonight. So we had to dig real deep and find different ways to score a goal, and the different ways are our strengths anyways. So credit to the rest of the group who came in and made a big impact, whether it was 5 minutes, 12 minutes, 30, whatever minutes. So congratulations to everybody for this team performance.
Bradley, I'm curious as to what the mood was like at halftime in that locker room, not just because Montreal scored late in the half, but because there had definitely been some defensive lapse.
Yeah, there were a couple of organizational issues that they, posed to us in terms of sending two up top on a corner kick for us. So they respected us a lot on those moments, and they were brave, and through that bravery they actually got rewarded at certain times, and and then we land up scoring from one. So there was a bit of I love it when I don't have to walk into the locker room, and when I get there the message has already been spoken about within the team, and that's part of a good team who challenge each other. I could hear it from my coach's office for sure, and then walking in there it was business, and the players know that whether a lapse here or a lapse there, but I think just being collective in good times and in bad times and riding challenging moments, I think it was an enjoyable moment, because that's a galvanizing moment for us as a group, to be open to challenging each other, and then to come out and really in certain moments control and dominate a second half. I thought it was pretty fun to watch.
Bradley, I think Owethu is the 16th different guy to score a goal for you in the league this year. I wonder what it says about the way you guys have distributed the load, that you have that many guys contributing, but still Ty in the Golden Boot race. What does that say about this team?
It's great for Ty to get his goal. Quinn gets another assist. But I think if you follow the pathway of this system, whether it's 2018 or whether it's 2023 or whether it's now, I think you can see and go back in those history books to see just the overall contribution of the togetherness, and everyone has a role to play. Whoever comes in, regardless of name and time, in terms of minutes, everyone contributes, and I think you continue to see that with this group.
On the first goal, Danley makes that run right up the middle.
Excellent.
How much is that something that you guys maybe scouted? How much is that something that he just reads in the moment, that gap?
Well, we know he has the moment to go, right? And he has the freedom to go, but also against a man-marking system, the only way to free yourself up is to move the opponent and shift the opponent, either with your movements, and then you don't play that line, you play the next line where you've vacated the space for somebody else to run into. Or you take it on your own hands and you accelerate the game. And he accelerates the game with a dribble, not a pass, and that creates the overload. So, we said to the boys, we have to keep that chaos going. We try to play a little bit too perfect in the first half, where we thrive in chaos, which is controlled and structured. And we create a randomness to the game that we train for. And I think you could see that with the proximity of Quinn running in there, connecting, and then, Ty Baribo just on the near post there to finish off the play. So that's what we spoke about at halftime, to create a little bit more chaos.
To see Makanya now get the goal on top of the incredible season he's already having, to be at this point in the season and how much progress he's made, how proud of you of a coach to see the jump he's been making?
Yeah, I mean, it's incredible, right? Again, if he continues this pathway and this trajectory at his age, I think he can achieve a lot. But it's our job to keep him grounded, to keep him hungry and energized and excited about what he's actually doing right now. Because, like I said, everyone's contributing, and, from a season that in the beginning we get the injury to Jan Glivinovic, and then we bring in Oluwetu, and then all of a sudden he's thriving, and then Frankie's thriving, and then we have competition at right back, center back, and somebody else is now taking up the reins and now dominating and making it his own. So, really like to see this pathway of our players coming through. It just shows a lot of hunger, determination, good vision from Ernst and the club, to sign Oluwetu 1.5 years ago, whatever it was. So credit to Ernst as well.
Did Jacob sub? Was that partially yellow card, partially one that made on Owusu?
No, part of it. Well, Jacob was on a yellow card, so and with Owusu just dropping into the midfield there, we couldn't be as aggressive as we needed to be on the jump and forward defending. So then there's always a little bit of doubt and a bit of a lag, and if you lag in our system, then all of a sudden you allow teams to turn and run, drive at you and run at you. So it was very much tactical just to protect Jacob.
Just thoughts on Mikel Lewis, first minutes back since he came back from injury.
Was good. He showed a lot of running as he always does, and he gets a shot off in the first few minutes, and he holds up the ball really well and makes runs in behind. And I thought once we had, created a transition, we couldn't then get a shot off. I think he retained possession really well in the final third of the play and helped the team connect, and then we're better at our counter pressing. So impressed from him, and it's good to have him back within the group.
Hey, Riley, when you made your first substitutions in the second half, you guys had more aggressive scoring chances. Can you talk about those scoring chances you had?
Yeah, I think with the way we play, those positions get really tired throughout the course of the hour of a game. And then you look to not change anything tactically, but just to spark a new injection of energy. And I think that's exactly what we did. So yeah, I'm happy that the overall contribution from everybody is at a high level, that we can just hit the ground running from the very first minute when somebody comes in. And if we make 2 subs at a time, that structurally, organizationally, with set pieces and everything's organized, and we're ready to go again. And then later on in the game, Dre finds Ali Bedoya every time on the headers. So it's like a well-oiled machine then, exactly knowing what we need to do, and credit to the group for that.
And how about defending the home field tonight?
Defending the home field? Yeah, 3 points at home is massive. I know it's a Wednesday night. I know it's a grind. I know we go to Houston on Friday. So, listen, this is the time. People often talk about, can they do it through the summer months? Can they do this? Can they do that? And right now there's an intensity in the group and a passion in the group, and most of all, hunger in the group to succeed every single day, regardless of result of the outside world. So, we're competing against ourselves right now, and keeping challenging ourselves all the time, every single day on training.
We're going to do last 2 here.
Coach, looks like Prince was making some waves on you guys. Talking about your defense deficiencies. Is that something you guys are going to be working on this week going into Houston?
Yeah, I think every team poses a different threat, so based on the learnings and findings that we have now, for sure there's things we'll talk about in post-game video, and then just look what the other team has, what problems do they pose and how do we solve that. So, Prince Owusu, I know him through the Bundesliga. I know exactly, he played for the club I played for, came through the ranks there. So, and he's getting better. You can see just the threat he is, and scoring in the last I think 3-4 games now. So, yeah, we denied it to a certain extent, but we couldn't keep him off the scoring sheet. But just shows the quality striker he is. And I spoke about how good Montreal are of late.
Go back to Glesnes for a minute, and the fact that you guys have probably the most sweltering game of the year on Saturday to come. If not for the yellow card, would he have played the full game, or was there a little bit of savings of him for Saturday in that?
Yeah, listen, if he didn't have the yellow card, we would have a structure in place to think about today and and Saturday. But we thought that if we could get him off the field and protect him, and not playing a man down the last couple of minutes against this Montreal team would have been difficult. So you're just never sure what's going to happen. There's a randomness to those challenges. There's a randomness to the corners and how they challenged us aerially on the long balls and what have you. So for a Montreal team to come in here and only get 280 passes, I didn't see them playing their way. They played it a little bit differently. They went vertical and long on every goal kick, or mostly in the first half. So yeah, we changed the way that they play the game. So credit to the boys for creating the respect. And I think that's good that the players are starting to get some respect. Thank you.